everybody. We're back with our face drawing tutorial, and we are on the part where we get to shade the face. Since we last got together, I changed the nose on my face, so as you can see, it just takes some practice to get your face the way you want it. And so what's really going to add to it and make it look really realistic is the shading. So we're going to jump right into it. So before we start, there's two kinds of pencil marks you can do with this. The first one is called hatching, and that is just kind of making marks like this. You can do them back and forth like this as well, but sometimes it's a little bit more neat to just do one line at a time. And then there's something called cross hatching. This is a little bit more advanced, but that's when you actually take your pencil line and go diagonal over a regular hatch line. So you hatch like regular, and then you go over it with other lines. Now it's important to note, when you do this, people think that if you put more pressure on your pencil, it will be darker, and it will. But there's another way of doing this, and this is called creating value. And so when you make these pencil lines, if you space them out, it's going to be lighter. Then as you get closer together, it's gonna look darker. Okay, so you can put more pressure on it, and that might make it a little bit more dramatic. But the real thing we want to worry about here is making sure when we're going from light to dark that we put our lines gradually closer together. All right, so now that we got that, let's get started. Okay, we're gonna start at the top of the head because your hair here is casting a shadow over your forehead. So all around the hairline, I'm gonna make sure my lines are really close together. And I'm just hatching right now. And I'm putting those lines really close together, and I'm putting a little bit of pressure on my pencil. Okay? As we go out, we're gonna move those lines further apart. And as you can see, I've switched to cross hatching for this. We're gonna get to that eyebrow later. I'm not gonna mess with it yet. But you kind of want to like fade it out. You don't want it to just go from light to dark really fast. You want it to kind of gradually go. So it's looking a little, I know it looks a little funky right now, but we'll go back over it here in a second. Okay. All right. So that is our first shadow. I'm just kind of lightly going over it to make it more blended. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go over my eyebrows. And I'm just doing those in a dark shade. And I'm not doing them perfect. I'm kind of giving them a little bit of a rough edge so we can tell that it's hair, not just a big line. All right, this one kind of got out of control. Let me fix that. Okay, you can always go back and fix. All right, next thing. Your eye socket bone goes in right here. So like your forehead kind of sticks out, and then your eyes kind of go back in. So anyway, your eyebrow bone should be sticking out, but here where we made that mark, it should be darker. So what we're gonna do is do our close lines together on top of that crease of your eye. It's okay if you cover up your eyebrows and go back over them. Make sure it's pretty dark. We want to be able to tell that that line's still there, but make it more shaded. Okay? Then as you go up the eyebrow bone, up this way, you're going to move those lines out further and put less pressure on your pencil. Okay. See, looking a little bit more realistic now, isn't it? You can go back over your eyelashes to make sure they're still there. Okay, next we're going to do the eyes. With your eyes, I like to darken the outside. This has nothing to do with shadows. That's just kind of how your iris looks. It's more dark on the outside. And then around the pupil, I'm going to kind of do some shading. Just very small around the pupil. Almost just looks like you're making the pupil kind of blurry looking. And then after that, we're going to save one spot. I'm going to draw a circle up at the top right of each eye. We're going to save one spot for the highlight of your eye to go. And then we're just kind of doing a medium shade around that circle at the top. Okay. All right. Your cheeks come forward here. So right under the eye, we're going to leave a little bit of space here. And we're going to lightly shade. All right. Nothing too major. And we might even want to blend the outside here a little bit. There we go. All right. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky. So with your nose, just depending on the light, we will have a shadow under the nose, but we will also have a shadow on the side of the nose. Now, as you all remember, we put those light circles on the right side of the eyeball. So that means our light source should be coming from this direction. Okay? So that means that this side of the nose would be lighter than this side. So we're going to start here at the side of the nose, and we're going to put our lines close together and go up the side till we're almost to the eyebrow. So those lines are close together, and it kind of outlines the nose on that side. Okay. Now, as we go out, we're going to move those lines out. Spread those out so we have more of a blended look. Under the nose, we're going to kind of do the same thing. There should be a shadow under your nose because it sticks out, and so it casts a shadow over your lip. And so right beside the under the nose, we're going to shade dark and close together. Then as we go out, we're going to get lighter. Okay, just kind of make sure it looks blended. Now, just because this side has light does not mean it has no shadow at all. Because the nose does stick out from the face, there should be a little bit of shading here, but I wanted us to do this side first because that should be the more dramatic side, so you have something to compare it to. So on this side, we just want to shade just a little bit, and we may not even go all the way to the eyebrow, and you may barely be able to see it on my camera, but you just want a little bit of shade. It's sticking out from the face, but it's not the side that is really shadowed like this side, okay? All right, we're getting there. So, to finish off the cheeks, after your cheekbones, there should be a shadow here. Ladies, we know this as contouring, correct? You want to highlight your cheeks. So, in these sections here, and I'll kind of mark them off for you so you can see where I'm going here. These shadows are going to kind of move in a diagonal, okay? So starting in the very center of those little shapes I drew, I'm going to make my lines really close together. Sorry, my camera's shaking. And then as we go out, we're gonna move them out so that they have a more blended look. Okay, and I might even erase some because I think I went too far. I'm trying to make it look as blended as you can. I know mine's not looking super great right now, but I might fix it later. Okay, it's getting there. Okay, after this, we have our lips. Now, this part of your lip sticks out from your mouth cavity area. So I'm going to do a little bit of shading around the lips, not a whole lot. And then also while we're over here, let's just go ahead and shade just a little bit those little dimples I made for the mouth. Or that you made, because you made one too. Okay, after this lip goes on top of this lip, so there should be a shadow right here. So what we're gonna do is at the very top of the part of your mouth, we're gonna make our lines pretty dark and close together, and then as we go towards the bottom of the lip, we're gonna fade out. Okay, perfect. And now, almost there, at the bottom of your lip, we're gonna put a dark line because your lip sticks out and then it goes back into the chin area. So we're going to shade below the lip, starting very close together, our lines at the bottom of the lip, and then moving our way down the chin, spreading our lines out. Okay? All right. So far, so good. My only thing is I probably need to work on my cheeks. I think I went a little too dark, but I will go back and fix it. Okay. Then we have below the chin, and that's gonna be your neck shadow. So I'm gonna put my, again, sorry, I sound like a broken record, lines really close together and dark. And then as you go out, just kind of move those lines out. All right, looking a little bit more three-dimensional. Now we're gonna do the ears, because your ears are kind of behind your head and under your hair. Well, for me, they're under your hair. We're gonna shade really close to where our face and hair is, and then as we go into the ear, we're gonna fade that out. Do that same thing over here. And then we got most of our face shaded. Okay, it's looking pretty good. And then now is the tough part. Your hair, there's not really a rhyme or reason for doing this, but here's how I do hair. I'm just gonna show you a snippet because it will take too long for me to do the whole head. But I just kind of pick some strands to do dark. So I'm just kind of going over like that. And then the next strand I will make kind of light. And I just kind of alternate those all over the head so that it will look realistic. Because honestly, your hair, it does kind of complicated things under light. So, I just do it kind of random. So yeah. Okay, so that's where I'm gonna stop. I hope this helps you all a little bit with shading. If the hair is looking crazy, that's okay. I think the most important part from this video is making sure your face shading goes really well. Hopefully this will help you as you are continuing learning how to draw a face. All right, see ya.